everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Mastering Ranking. What are we going to be mastering today? Webometrics rankings. Mind how I pronounce this? I did not say Webometric rankings. I said Webometrics rankings. Today is a wonderful day, wonderful Sunday evening. Wonderful Sunday, but nice in the evening after my church service. March 8, 2026. I am yours sincerely, Peter Okebukola. Now let's see what's cooking for this lesson. Wonderful things, by the way. We're going to be looking at history and origins of Webometrics ranking, methodology, ranking, African performance, and the rest of them. Let's start with the history and origins of Webometrics rankings. That word, Webometrics, was coined in 1997 by Almin and Ingversen. Well, they derived metric measure, like tape. Bibliometrics, quantitative study of academic publications, measuring the thing. So when you apply it to the web, it's Webometrics. And the early proponent, CSIS, cited by Metrics, Laboratory, C by Isidro, is the principal architect. Isidro, in 2007, we had to go to see him to his lab in Madrid, in Spain. Now you can see this photo. It's a 2007 photo. 2007. Yeah, 2007. That is 19 years ago. That is Peter Okebukola. Wow. 19 years ago. I see Peter Okebukola now. Well, I thank God. Thank God for his grace. Thank God for his mercy. That one is alive and kicking, today. Isidro tall guy, very nice person. So we're there in his laboratory to see about this Webometrics ranking. By the way, by 2007, I just finished the previous year being the executive secretary of the National Universities Commission. I was in Abuja there as ES 5 years. So let's see what the concept is. Concept of the ranking thing. 2004 was the first edition, and the rationale is that we want to promote open access to knowledge generated by the university. So by 2004 was first edition, as I said. 2 editions per year adopted in 2008. Methodology to updated to reflect digital landscape changes. And 2023 to 2024, transparent ranking introduced alongside the main rankings. So what's the philosophy behind? I just said it, that the belief is that the university's web presence, a proxy for your commitment to the dissemination of knowledge. I mean, if you go to your website, and I'm able to see the research that scholars in that university are doing, I'm able to see all the elements of scholarship. That's a proxy for how you're disseminating knowledge. For Webometrics ranking, you do a survey, nothing like that, no surveys of anything. And it's fully automated. What does that mean? There's the web crawl that the web cybernetics lab will have developed. It will crawl through the web and go to your domain, lasu.edu.ng, and check out what knowledge we are disseminating. On that basis, based on the indicators that we're going to see, you will now access and get the data for us. I tell you something. Some vice chancellors that, the universities are not aware. I say, no, we don't want to participate. No, whether you like it or not, you are ranked. So it's not like the others that we'll be talking about over the last few days, over the last few lessons, that you apply. Say, I want to be, you write an email. Nothing. You see, you don't need to write no email. So it's automated. You are ranked whether you like it or not. Open access aligned. Africa's opportunity, institutions that invest in digital scholarly output can improve rapidly without large financial outlay. I give you an example. In 2000, it was when Professor Paulo Ide, great man, was the vice chancellor of University of Ilorin. He invited me to come and run a workshop for University of Ilorin on Webometrics ranking. I was there for 2 solid days, and all the staff, we went through the whole thing. I tell you, the next publication of Webometrics ranking, Ilorin went from number 40-something to number 1. So, little or no investment. Let's look at the methodology. How does Webometrics collect the data? Google search, web presence, and rich file indexing. So you have a crawl, web crawling, crawl the web. You know, baby, where they crawl. Crawl all publicly indexed pages under the institution's primary domain. And the rest here. So entirely web source, no questionnaire or surveys. So what are the indicators? We're talking about pillars of indicators. For this one, how many? Three pillars. The first is presence, the number of web pages indexed by Google under the institution's primary domain. So if Google does a search, crawls to you, the crawler goes to your site and is able to see a little number of publications, then you lightweight. But when there's plentiful, then you have that presence. So it reflects volume of academic web content. So what is to be done? The strategy is to more indexable web pages. Let's look at the other one. Transparency, 10%. So the citations received by the top 210 cited authors in your university has captured in Google Scholar. Google Scholar, you see the role it's going to be played as we go along now. Reflects researcher visibility. What's the strategy? The strategy is to complete Google Scholar profiles, all the staff. Excellence, 85%. Papers, the top 10% most cited globally across 26 disciplines. What should we do? Strategy is to increase your Scopus publications. Let's look at the excellence thing in more detail. So why excellence dominate? Why is excellence dominating? So it's not just to put in all kind of materials on the side. They have to be those that are genuinely scholarly output. Else it will just represent hologital noise. There will be noise with all the web materials that you put on the site. Publications must be indexed in Scopus to count. Then institutional affiliation on Google Scholar profiles must be precise and consistent. All publications must be claimed and verified in each researcher's profile. Now, when we compare the Webometrics with other global rankings of feature on these features, surveys, no survey here. All this one survey. ARW, as you are familiar with, that we did in the last lesson, does not conduct no survey. Data sources, web, Scopus surveys and Scopus surveys and Scopus. This is simply clearly Webometrics. Institutions covered, you can see Webometrics 31,000 plus. QS, see them. Cost to access free. Nobody's charging nobody anything. So when you run, look, I've been running ranking for Nigerian universities forever and a day. Now, not forever and a day. Since 2001. Not charging anybody anything. So we're good. Be running this thing for free. Africa, well, the editions, either Africa or whatever, for Webometrics twice a year. January and July. All these other ones are annual. Now, so what's the annual ranking cycle timeline? January it comes out, July it comes out. Right. So the January edition. So what? January edition, data collection in December, results published in January, of course. So you can see a month data collection. But let's look at the July edition. We are now in March. Today is March the 8th. We are now in March. So the July edition that you all should be aiming at, data collection is in June. So we have to improve things, so improve it right now. Like I said, for Ilorin, in 2 days, I got it done. And Kwara State University also were asking them to up their game regarding to that. For Lagos State University, of course, we are moving on. That's my primary base. So result probably in July. Preparation window March now to May. Key action, open access uploads, Scopus submission, push. So what calendar are we looking at? January, analyze results. What does that mean? Where the results are out, they are actually out by now. Look at the results for your institution. Analyze it. And then benchmark against comparable institutions. Okay, so you are a private university established 10 years ago, and then you have another one 10 years ago. Jump up. So do a mapping, do a benchmark against that institution. Then February, you audit Google Scholar profiles, identify unclaimed profiles. March, upload open access publications to institutional repository. April, review and optimize university website. Fix all broken links. Don't be saying you get a webmaster. Yeah, let your webmaster and you that you are being trained, please check these things out and knock the door of your webmaster ICT department. Hey, these links are broken. Fix them. So may launch faculty training on Scopus. Run training. Professor Lakweju mentioned it at our last meeting of Monday. Launch training on Scopus and Google Scholar Profile Management. Yeah, Professor Adene also mentioned that. June, final checks before data collection, before they start collecting data. So you do a check. By July, results are out again. Analyze, update institutional action plan, September, and it goes on. The 6-month cycle. Wow, African universities. How will they do? How are we performing? Well, these are African universities listed at this, and UCT, University of Cape Town, is among the 800, typically well ranked. But look at this one here. Southern Africa, up there. North Africa, well, not so much. This is descending. East Africa, West Africa, not doing relativity now, not doing as well as the others. Nigeria, Ghana, below continental average, but we have high potential. So what are the top African universities in Webometrics? Cape Town is right up there, consistently Africa's highest ranked institution. Stellenbosch, Wits, Pretoria. I wanted to pronounce it like one villager. Say Wits. Wits, Wits, Vaderstrand, Wits, Pretoria, the rest of Johannesburg. So yeah, Cairo, East Africa. Yeah, that's it. But let's come to Nigeria. Nigeria universities, the ones that they're coming out for that Isidro is about 260 plus. But we have 309 universities as I'm speaking today, March the 8th, 2026. Ibadan is coming off first is number 1. Number 2 is Covenant. You see, Covenant is like a baby born yesterday. But by the commitment of Bishop David Oyedepo and the staff of Covenant University, they are moving on very well. On many occasions, they overtook Ibadan. Number 1. University of Lagos is coming number 3. This one, 1948. It was 1960. So you can see, Covenant University 2000 and yesterday. OAU there, Amadu Bello. What am I saying here? What I'm saying here is that with commitment and with sanctions of staff that would not want to do Google Scholar, would not want to publish in the Scopus, then you can go nowhere. Now let's look at the performance gaps, key performance gaps. Low for Nigeria universities, low volume of Scopus index publications relative to institutional size, absence of fully functional, publicly accessible, institutional, open access repositories in most universities. What do I mean by that? Every university should have a repository where you have open access, public accessible institutional documentation there. So a large proportion of academic staff without active, verified Google Scholar profiles properly affiliated to the institution. This one a big problem, because when we're doing the 2022 rankings, we found that many universities, many staff of the universities, they don't have Google Scholar profiles. But I'm sure things will have improved, especially the professors. Yeah, I'll come to that in a minute, and that's very sad. When they don't get professors to finish, that's all. You come to the office. Hey, can you put this on? They won't answer you. Yeah, but they are shooting the university's foot. They are shooting themselves in the foot in terms of visibility of their university and the ranking. University websites poorly structured for Google indexing, broken links, outdated pages, no staff profiles, domain fragmentation, multiple hosting platforms, different hostings, non-standard domains, and inconsistent subdomains. So what are the trends? Covenant University, I mentioned it before. The rise demonstrates that deliberate open access policy can deliver measurable ranking gains within 2 years. And TED4 research grants are increasingly, we're happy about that, channeled towards Scopus index publications. LUC's ranking awareness campaigns, that's what NORAC is doing, are prompting several universities to launch web optimization and profile management. Some 5-6 years ago, my team, we ranked Nigerian universities, their websites, and that prompted many to wake up. Yeah, Nigeria has the largest university system in West Africa, harnessing collective output could rapidly shift continental average. Yes, NURAC, oh yeah, NURAC, our NURAC, Nigeria Universities Ranking Advisory Committee, is building institutional capacity just like this. We have been doing this forever and a day. No, not forever and a day. Over the last 3 years to track and improve Webometrics performance across Nigerian universities. So root causes of Africa underperformance. I've given that of Nigeria. We can scale that up to Africa. Low Scopus content, weak open access repositories, poor website architecture, profile gaps, domain inconsistencies, limited digital investment. So what are the strategies for improvement? That's what we've said. That's what I've been saying. Pillar 1, research output and publication quality. You should target Scopus, Q1 and Q2 indexed journals. Open access and the rest you can see. Pillar 2, open access and digital visibility. Upload full text of every permissible publication. That's what we did in Ilorin, and that's what I've been doing for some other universities. Project reports of your students, undergraduates, postgraduate, inaugural lectures, books, all upload them. So pillar 3, mandatory Google Scholar profiles for all academic staff. Some vices are afraid of some professors. What you find is some professors they can speak big English at Senate. That's all. Go and check their scholarship, read scholarship, Google Scholar profiles. Not too good. Not too good. I didn't want to use the word I should use because I did for this thing. So not too good. I'm not talking about Nigeria. I'm talking about Africa-wide. You get a professor and then you check out the Google Scholar or research, visible research, Scopus index journals, and it's super poor. But the shame of it is that the younger ones that are coming, these are the people that are supervising them. They are not helping matters at all. I'll give you an example of a case of Peter Okebukola. Oh yes, Peter trumpet. I don't bring trumpet now. Dr. Kule Oladejo, Dr. Sukan Gbele, Dr. Esther Peter, Dr. Agbanimu, my students, the recent ones, PhD students, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, education people, 1 year. Oh yes, 1 year, 1,000 plus. Adekunle Oladejo, you go and Google him. Google Scholar Adekunle Oladejo, go and say it. So look, when you know rest as supervisor, when you know rest as professor, me I don't I'm supposed to be resting now. And the others, but some they are just I don't want to use some so let's make it mandatory and let these professors be professing more. So sending academic excellence indicator, target journal selection, international collaboration, publication incentives, preprint and open. So strength, transparency and presence indicators. All academic staff must create a verified Google Scholar profile affiliated with this. I can't overstress that. Assign a faculty Webometrics champion. Get somebody in your faculty, even in the department, to be a Webometrics officer to audit profiles quarterly. Now use a single stable primary domain consistently. All right, Webometrics steering committee set it up. Webometrics coordinator, let's have it. Biannual Webometrics performance report to Senate. Every time the result is released, let there be the Webometrics coordinator do a performance report to Senate, benchmark against 5 comparable regional institutions like we have been doing. So these are some tools that you can use for implementing webometrics.info, scopus.com, orchid.org, and the rest. So time for a break. Yeah, welcome from a very short break, and we're going to do practical 7. Practical 7 is gap analysis in Webometrics ranking. We'll be doing gap analysis for the order, so we're going to do the same. So practical 7 is gap analysis of the 3 pillars of 2026 Webometrics ranking. So you put all of that. So the name gap analysis, the name of the number 1 in the world in Webometrics ranking of 2026. Just put it there. Name of number 2. So what do you have for overall visibility, excellence, openness? I checked and found that maybe you can't get that data for 2026, but if you use an AI agent, you may be able to get this. Number one in Africa, number one in Nigeria, or your country, and your university. Put your university there, and then let's have it. They do a graph of the gap analysis. You discuss your results. So what you have as a marking scheme, the data on gap analysis, 600 or 800, graph 800, discussion, and the rest. So 3,200 marks for practical 7. Okay, let me give you a demonstration. We are going to use what we call shortcut to success. So you can see this category. I've changed number one in Nigeria. Okay, your country. Okay, then you put your university there. So you just copy this table, and then you go to an AI tool, AI agent, and say, let me show you. So I'll just, well, what I have here is provide data for the latest Webometrics rankings for this table. Number one in the world, number one in Africa, number one in Nigeria, then Lagos State University, Nigeria. So you have all of these things here, name of institution, and all of that. So let me just copy this, and I will land it in, let's take ChatGPT for a step. Yeah, so ChatGPT, what am I working on? All right, I've copied it and I've pasted it here. So let's see what it comes up with. Searching the web. Yes, search what I want to search. All right, it January 2026 edition. That's what it had here. So you can see that's the table. That's the table. So it will take you just a few minutes to do that. Number one, the world, Harvard, overall rank, all of that. So that's the thing. That's what you are expected to do. Yeah, so you've seen the demo now, not a big deal. Now, what are the key takeaways for this lesson? Webometrics, the world's largest. The 3 indicators, presence, transparency, and each demands specific targeted strategies. African universities will have significant improvement potential, particularly in Scopus publications, open access, and share profile management. What's next? Let's say go to look at. We have a potpourri of the remaining. I'm going to take all the remaining U.S. News and World Report, Leading Rankings, Center for World University Rankings, and then I'm going to take the individual scholarly rankings, it is scientific, and Clarivate. From me, Peter Okebukola, it is bye-bye for now. See you next lesson. Bye-bye.